Good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. It sounds like a fantastic initiative. Tell us more.
Yes, hi, good morning, everyone. And thank you for inviting us to share this campaign with you. So the Will of the People campaign is about inspiring hope. It's part of a bigger movement, the We the People movement, to inspire active citizens working for change. So our team has been sitting reflecting on all the challenges that are being made to the Constitution and the rule of law, the depression that COVID brings, the talk of a third wave of COVID. And we were also inspired by the Defend Our Democracy campaign. As we know, defending our democracy is intimately intertwined with our private lives, with our families, to defend our homes and our livelihoods and our communities. And we also defend our own ambitions and the ambitions of future generations to come through defending our democracy. So we asked ourselves questions about the kind of country we want for ourselves and our children and our grandchildren, and what ordinary people can do. We said ordinary people have a strong will to defend our hard-won constitutional democracy, and we should draw on them. And we wanted to find a proactive way in which ordinary people could express their will. And this is how we decided to provoke positive imaginings from the people to remind us why defending our democracy is so important, and to encourage people to collectively declare their vision for South Africa.
And how will the submission process work? I mean, it sounds amazing that all of this will now be on the walls and displayed for others to see and draw some form of inspiration.
Yes, so the idea is that people would complete the sentence, we the people, ... so that ... And we've had amazing submissions already, because we put the campaign out through social media on Friday, and already we've accumulated hundreds of messages, and they all speak about hope and Ubuntu and aspirations, of course, service delivery, anti-corruption, and so on. I can read you a few if there's time. But the way that you can submit the messages are in three ways. You can write into the email, which is www.willofthepeople.coza, or you can send messages to WhatsApp on 062 647 5246, or you could go to the Constitutional Court precinct, to the Conhill precinct, and one of the walls along Hospital Avenue have been painted with black chalkboard, and we've stenciled in We the People and so that people can come to the Hill and actually come and write their messages. And perhaps on a Freedom Day, some of your crew would go and pick up some of this activity. And so that's for people who are within the Johannesburg precinct. But for those who are not, also people who are in Johannesburg can go from April 27th evening between 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock. We need nighttime, as you can see in the picture behind me. This is just a test we did last week. And so the towers will be lit up, and there'll be a soundscape with the voices of people expressing their will and their dreams and their hopes and ambitions. And the soundscape will play while people are seeing the images lit up or the messages lit up on the towers, the light towers. And you know, the light towers were built on the old staircases of the awaiting trial prison. These staircases, which speak of pain and oppression of the past, are now beacons of light, illuminating people's hopes and ambitions towards human dignity, equality, and freedom.
I can imagine it to be a great way to affirm so much as people look to a prosperous, a successful and a free future in South Africa, where they have access to so many of their needs. Vanessa, I want you to stay put and stay with us, as this week I went out on the streets of Johannesburg to get a reality check of what exactly some of the young people in South Africa are thinking when it comes to their version of what Freedom Day means, and whether or not some will be voting come election time in October. Let's quickly listen in.
I just think Freedom Day is another day that white people can celebrate and have a braai, you know, and it's not really something for us to actually be proud of. I'm not proud of the past that I came from. I see white supremacy as a huge thing. I agree that it is there. I'm not going to deny it, but I don't want any part of that. And Freedom Day should be for the people that were set free.
Freedom Day to me means that me as a young person, I can do whatever I want to do. I can go wherever I want to go. And Freedom Day, it celebrates that our parents and our grandparents have fought so much to give us the life that we have today. So that's what Freedom Day means to me as a young person.
I don't feel like our country's free right now. I don't feel like any countries are free, really, not just ours. The people who are in control will not let go of their control. Like, you can't get rid of the corruption. Those in charge are all corrupt, so how do you vote out a corrupt system when every system is corrupt? Voting is a waste of our time. I think it's just like a cute thing for people to feel like they made a decision, although the decisions are already made for us.
After all these other political parties, the only the political system, so I'm only for the person who's ready for the people, for the poor. Exactly.
We all need someone who can be able to run the country. We need integrity in our country. We need someone who will be able to stand up and be like your O.R. Tambo, your Chris Hani and Mandela, and people that would have the fighting spirit to fight for the youth.
I would like to vote. I feel like this country definitely needs change. You know, we've seen so many wrong people being put in positions they shouldn't be, and it's now we're dealing with the effects of it in this country, and you know, I would like to personally add my vote for the change of this country.
Right, I'm still joined on the line by Chief Executive Officer of the Constitutional Court, Hill Trust, Vanessa September. Vanessa, as I took to the streets and spoke to, a mixed blend of young people, some of them expressing a lot of optimism and some not optimistic at all, and not seeing much reason why it is important to vote, and not really getting a sense of the impact their vote will have, even if they do opt to vote. With this wall and with the submissions that that will be made, what feelings are you hoping to evoke for a country and its young people who are unemployed, a huge majority of them? What messages are you hoping to send through?
Yeah, this is precisely the reason why we launched this campaign, because we feel the lack of hope and the lack of inspiration, and that is precisely the essence of the campaign, the genesis of the campaign. And in fact, the words "we the people" are the first words of the preamble to our constitution. And what we want to remind people of is the pact that we had made and the power that continues to reside within us to make change happen, further change happen in the country. And we'd like to encourage people to renew the promise of the collective commitment of the preamble. And I wonder if any one of those young people actually know the preamble. I love their messages, and that's precisely a lot of those messages we are getting coming through. It's messages that say there is guilt and we need to change. We fought for freedom, we want to see that freedom. But let me just remind us what the preamble says. The preamble says, the second half, that I'm not going to read it all, but just to say, we through our freely elected representatives adopt this constitution and the supreme law of the republic so as to heal the divisions of the past, lay the foundations for a democratic and open society, improve the quality of life of all citizens and to free the potential of each person, and to build a united and democratic South Africa able to take its rightful place in the family of nations. But in order to do that, we have to acknowledge the first part of the preamble, which says, we, the people of South Africa, recognize the injustices of our past, honor those who suffered for justice and freedom in our land, and respect those who fought to build and develop the country, and believe that South Africa belongs to all of us, united in our diversity. Now, if we recommit to the preamble, then that is, in essence, the space of hope and aspiration and inspiration that we can draw from the past. Because, like the one young woman said, we want leaders like Oliver Tambo and Cyril Ramaphosa and Mandela and all the people who have come before us, and people like Majoy Soroki and Winnie Mandela and Freni Janwali and Helen Joseph and so on. And I mean, the list can go on. So the idea is that we want to draw on the strength of those people and what they have prepared. We are able to say these things in a country that actually is free. Before, most of the statements the young people made may not have been able to be said, but now we have a democracy and they're able to say that, and we are all free. So it really is our collective responsibility to draw on the Constitution and what the Constitution allows for us in its laws and its rights and the Bill of Rights in order to make it real. government's responsibility and ours. So I think that maybe it's an opportunity to reignite the aspirations that come with that preamble from 1994.
Absolutely. And as you call for your submissions and want that process to be rolled out effectively so that it can have a huge impact on the lives of South Africans, how do people become involved in that process? And is there a certain number of people that you're looking for and the sort of format that you'll use to project those images?
So we will project the images via these gobo lights on Constitution Hill. And we also want the Will of the People.coza website will be an ongoing website, so people can send their messages in there. We haven't yet decided what we do with this accumulation of messages, whether it becomes a campaign content that we deliver on the door of the government and say, okay, now, if you want us to vote for you, these are the things that are important. And it's across all political parties. It's not any one political party. All the parties are part of government. One of the statements in the list of statements that came in that says that we want to change our electoral system so that we can hold our representatives more accountable. So maybe these are some of the debates we are having in our roundtable conversations. That is a series of conversations that we're having during the course of the year while we are commemorating the 25th year of the signing into law of the Constitution by Nelson Mandela in 1996, December 10th. So there's a lot of activity going on, and people can reach out to us. We have an online exhibition and curated archive that speaks about how our Constitution is made, and it captures all the stories from CODESA, the multi-party democracy, the Constitutional Assembly, and it's a great site to go and explore and learn more about the making of the Constitution and the Constitutional Court, and lots of historical archival footage speaking about how that was made, and not just about how it was made, but the hope and aspiration it brings for what we want in our future. So it's looking at the past to enable a better future for ourselves. And so this site is a site that's really, we see a useful one for educational purposes. We're working with Macmillan Trust to project it into the schools. We're working with the Nelson Mandela Foundation through these conversations we are having. So people can reach us by coming to the Constitution Hill as a first step. They can write into us to the Will of the People campaign on the website. They can send messages to the WhatsApp line. And they can write to me, Vanessa at constitutionhilltrust.org.org.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time.